J'ai besoin de la lune pour lui parler la nuit. J'ai besoin de soleil pour me chauffer la vie. J'ai tant besoin de toi.
Soy abogado, defensor de derechos humanos y estudiando también en una especialización en Derecho Internacional en la Universidad de Montreal y sigo trabajando con mi oficina que se llama Defensores de Oprimidas y Oprimidos, que es una oficina de defensa de los derechos humanos en Haití.
Patrice y yo nos conocimos en el año 2008 en un taller de sistematización de experiencias en Cuba, en Matanzas. Entonces quería un poco que nos comentara sobre esa labor que haces en la oficina que está en Haití y las razones por las cuales tuviste que salir del país.
La Oficina de Defensores de Oprimidas y Oprimidos es una oficina que trabaja con los movimientos sociales haitianos y trabajamos con las mujeres víctimas de violencias sexuales, violencias conyugales y también con las personas con discapacidades. Trabajamos con los campesinos para defender los derechos a la tierra, el derecho a la vivienda después del terremoto que hemos sufrido en Haití en el año 2010. También trabajamos con los movimientos de estudiantes que a veces son criminalizados. Entonces estamos en una lucha permanente contra la criminalización de los movimientos sociales haitianos. Y acá en Montreal tenemos junto con nuestro estudio en Derecho Internacional, teníamos muchas conferencias para presentar el caso de Haití en varios espacios de estudiantes de movimientos sociales acá y también para un análisis crítica sobre la cooperación internacional en Haití, que todavía vive una situación muy complicada después del terremoto y las ONG han gastado muchísimo dinero y todavía no vemos muchos resultados. Y entonces, en el marco de nuestro trabajo, hemos sufrido de muchos ataques, como amenazas de asesinato, como 7 casos de amenazas, cambio de casa muchas veces en un año. Y el caso nuestro fue en la Comisión Interamericana de Derechos Humanos que salió en el año 2003 unas recomendaciones con el Estado haitiano para asumir la protección de los defensores de derechos humanos, en particular mi seguridad también para asumir eso. Pero como nosotros no tenemos confianza en el sistema en Haití, como lo de la corrupción, para muchas otras cosas, y estamos acá y aprovechamos para estudiar, para fortalecer nuestra comprensión, para fortalecer nuestros análisis de la crisis, que no solo una crisis haitiana, pero también una crisis regional del Caribe y también la crisis del centroamericano. Muchos defensores de derechos humanos son amenazados y acá mismo en Montreal es un poquito diferente, pero también hay unos casos de unas dificultades con el pueblo autóctono e indígenas también acá mismo.
¿Autóctonos indígenas?
Sí. Entonces, estamos acá, pero apretamos firme, seguimos trabajando. Hace como 4 meses fuimos a Chiapas para animar unas conferencias sobre el derecho a la tierra de los campesinos del movimiento autónomo de Chiapas. La lucha sigue y entonces lo apretamos firme.
Excelente.
Hi, I'm Swanlata and I'm from India and I'm working in this organization called Nirantar, and it works on the issues of gender and education. And my specific work area is the women's literacy and empowerment, where we do literacy with the perspective where there is focus in empowerment, where how can gender imbalance and gender related discrimination and other intersectional discrimination can be eliminated through literacy, and empowering women can be done is the main work which I do. A very important work which is part of my responsibility, is to do capacity building of organizations, because many of the organizations, they just don't have either resources or the ways in which they can do this type of literacy work with an empowerment approach, with a gender justice approach. So this is one of the very important area of my work, where we do capacity building of organizations for doing women's literacy and empowerment. And yes, so basically linking with people's context, people's realities, and empowering them through literacy is one of my main work. And I do believe that through literacy, through empowerment approach in literacy, we can we can end discrimination in all fronts, like gender, caste, class, which are like really strong and strong power structures in our society. So this is what I do in India, and I'm happy to be here and listen to other experiences as well from different contexts. And I'm happy that many of us share the same agenda here, and it will really going to make things better for future. Yeah.
When it comes to ICAE and it comes to the public, the audience you've had here, what are your feelings about after this experience of sharing your stories?
I first, from listening experiences from other regions and from other organizations, I felt that condition for women is not very different in different parts of the world. And this is something which is very important, which we and I share with other ICAE members from other regions as well. And yeah, so this is something which I felt that exists in each of these contexts, and I think literacy is something which can help us to deal with this kind of gender imbalance and discrimination which exists in today's world.
J'ai besoin de la lune.
Oui, bonjour, mon nom est Robert Martin, je suis président du mouvement québécois des adultes en formation. Je veux bien sûr vous saluer au nom de toutes les étudiantes et les étudiants adultes du Québec. Ce fut un grand plaisir et toujours un plaisir encore dans les jours qui viennent de vous recevoir ici au Québec. Je voudrais vous dire que notre rencontre nous a permis de pouvoir établir de bons contacts et que nous souhaitons tous, et tout le monde l'a affirmé, plus particulièrement l'Association des étudiants du Chili, ceux du Québec ainsi que ceux de l'Irlande, ont souhaité qu'on puisse conserver des contacts par la suite et de faire en sorte de fortifier ce mouvement d'éducation des adultes à travers le monde. Donc, il nous a fait plaisir aussi de vous laisser de l'information plus complète. M. Claude Garon, tantôt, a permis de faire une vidéo qui va mieux vous permettre de comprendre l'ensemble de toutes les questions concernant l'éducation des adultes au Québec. Donc, je vous remercie de votre écoute et je vous souhaite aussi une bonne vision de l'ensemble du message que nous avons préparé. Merci.
My name is Christian Blanchette. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Continuing Education at the University of Montreal, the host of the World Assembly. And what I do is I run a faculty that is open to all adults to engage in university education. Our program are shorter program than bachelor's degree, but they can be added together to create a bachelor's degree. So we have about 16,000 distinct students in our faculty. It's 25% of this university. But the really interesting piece for me is the fact that we have schemes to enable adults who don't have the university prerequisite to engage in university teaching and university learning, actually. The faculty I lead has been part of the Quebec landscape of adult education for more than 50 years. And when I joined the faculty, rapidly I started to collaborate with the Institute for Corporations on Adult Education here locally, which is the organizations that helped the ICAE to organize. So for me, I'm part of the continuum of adult education that goes from literacy issues to university access. And I'm really at this university access side of the equation.
So finally, the last question is related to Montreal being the capital for adult education this year. In what ways does that helps the work you do and the relation you also have with other movements, as you mentioned?
Yeah. For me, welcoming the World Assembly here is selfishly quite important. Because in a sense, we are constantly struggling, trying to understand how we can have a larger impact on adult learners, our adult learners. And for me, the Assembly here has been really, really interesting in providing me, opening the door on what's being done elsewhere, and makes me think, and my team, because a number of people, our colleagues from the faculty are here, makes us think about what we can import within our city, within our province and the country from what we've heard around the world. And they're great ideas, I think, that will help us in the future.
So I'm here now from the ICAE team doing an interview to Dennis Sylvain from Canada. Dennis, please present yourself and tell us about the work you do here in first place.
Well, first of all, I'm a student at Montreal University at the Continuing Education faculty, and I'm also a General Secretary for the Association of Continuing Education faculty, which we are 16,000 students, and I'm also the president of the Quebec Federation for adult university students. So my federation is regrouping 5 students association, and we are spokesmen to the government, and especially the Minister of Education, for us to say what we think about what are the Quebec's policy and financing towards the adult education, and mostly for adult education and university. Since about 5 years, they try to raise our students' fees, and it's not true, because they were saying that because students are workers, 80% of our members are women. And but saying that because they work, they have the capacity to pay their students' fees, it's not true. Since 40% of them earn less than 30,000 a year, and about 25% it's less than 10,000 a year. So it's not true because they work that they could afford the students' fees. So we're there to speak with the government, but we also there to involve the government in the preoccupation about the adult education accessibility. That's first thing that I do as president of the federation. For my association at Montreal University, we give services to our member because since they study part-time, most of them studies at night, weekends, they have special needs for services, special needs to complete their studies. So we're there to help them getting success through their studies, and convince the university and our faculty to put on some services. And I give you as an example, new students who comes and start their studies, we teach them how to prepare for their work, to prepare to the exam, how to facilitate the reading. So it's all tools that we give to the students to make sure that not only we accept them, but we are doing everything to help them finish their objectivity as to get a certificate or an attestation. Well, my first participation was at Nairobi. it was really a shock for me to discover how well we are if we compare ourselves towards other country, and it makes me very, very sad to see how it works in other country. And as we say, sometimes when we compare, we're glad, but doesn't mean that because we have maybe better things that we cannot share them and try to involve the others to how we do things, to give them some link so that was my first impression, my first participation in Nairobi. I was shocked that university is almost impossible for an adult because the first things that they have to do, it's at least finish the secondary level and to learn how to write and read. So it really makes me think with my colleagues after that we have to share more with the other country. When I was in Malmö, it was more with the European representation, and also there I was really sad and shocked that the adult was not the possibility for the adult to get to higher education for university was not as easy as we have here, and that's where we start in saying we have to tell the rest of the world that it's possible if the government wants to make it possible. Because for here in Quebec, in Canada, when a part-time student, an adult, goes to university, the government pays. So if the government wouldn't pay, we wouldn't be 100,000 students part-time at night. So we have to convince the government to invest, because it's an investment for a society, to make sure that those adults could get through the highest level of education. It's good for the economy, it's good for the society, and it's good for the person, because with this, the person could be very free to give back to the society. So now what we try to do as most is to not preach, but to how would say in English, to tell what we do here, how we do it, how it's possible, and if some of the country thinks that it's good and they share it and they make pressure to the government, maybe we'll live in a better world, and also we will have more adult at the highest education level.
J'ai besoin de la lune.
Okay, thank you. I have a good participation in this event because I have the advantage to be in the opening ceremony where I was a speaker about the decolonization of education, and I have my view to say on it. And then after I participated in the film-free workshop, where I was also a speaker presenting a video on education and training in nomadic communities. And then I have to be here in the General Assembly and also being nominated for the position of treasurer. And I get it. I'm very happy, and I think we have to meet new challenges and also to work hard for the next 4 coming years.
J'ai besoin de la lune.
Mi nombre es Nélida Céspedes, soy peruana latinoamericana y soy secretaria general del Consejo de Educación Popular de América Latina y el Caribe. Nosotros estamos muy preocupadas que en el mundo existan 781 millones de personas que son analfabetas, y muchos de ellos son del África, de la América Latina, también de otras partes del continente como son Asia, inclusive también de Europa. Y eso nos preocupa demasiado porque nosotros consideramos que en el trabajo del ICAE es un trabajo que tiene que ver con la ética, tiene que ver con la política, tiene que ver con todos los cambios también en la educación transformadora, que es fundamental para que las personas puedan en realidad soñar y cambiar sus vidas y cambiar las sociedades. Y todo esto desde la perspectiva también, ¿no?, de una educación crítica, una educación transformadora, como por ejemplo la educación popular, que es muy importante, y es el aporte que América Latina también trae a esta red global. Y nos da mucha alegría que también en otras partes del continente, como es África, Asia, Europa también, ¿no?, y otras partes también del continente, la educación popular es muy, muy valorada como una perspectiva también de transformación. Todas estas experiencias que nosotros tenemos en nuestra red del Consejo de Educación Popular de América Latina y el Caribe son estas visiones, estos sueños de cambio que traemos también al ICAE. Y por eso también hemos estado responsables del grupo temático número 1, que tiene que ver con el derecho a la educación de jóvenes y adultos a lo largo de la vida, donde hemos realizado, ¿no?, un gran debate y una gran discusión, que es muy importante el momento que también estamos viviendo ahora, porque se ha dado, por ejemplo, el Foro Mundial de Educación, que ha implicado un trabajo muy duro de las redes de todo el mundo, especialmente, por ejemplo, la campaña mundial por la educación, la campaña latinoamericana por la educación, el ICAE y nosotros también dentro de todas esas organizaciones, porque nos parece fundamental que exista una visibilización del derecho a la educación de jóvenes y adultos. Nos preocupa mucho que todavía la agenda no tome suficientemente en cuenta esta población mundial que es muy grande. Por eso nosotros vamos a seguir trabajando y contribuyendo, aportando nuestra visión de cambio, de transformación, la relación entre educación y otro tipo de desarrollo que pueda en realidad enfrentar el capitalismo, que puede enfrentar la colonialidad, que puede enfrentar el patriarcado, porque las poblaciones que son vulneradas en sus derechos tienen rostros de mujeres, rostros de indígenas, rostros de afrodescendientes, rostros de migrantes, y queremos reforzar nuestro compromiso por contribuir junto con la gente a transformar esta situación. Y como decimos en la América Latina, ponemos nuestra experiencia, nuestro conocimiento, nuestra pasión, porque la lucha continúa. Solo nada podemos, juntos sí, porque la lucha continúa.
J'ai besoin de la lune.
Chamo-me Carlos Ramos, de Moçambique. Trabalho e vivo na província de Nampula, onde nasci, e a partir de 1981 iniciei a trabalhar na área de alfabetização e educação de adultos, e de lá para aqui desenvolvi programas na formação de alfabetizadores, a própria alfabetização das comunidades, tendo em conta que Moçambique é um dos países do mundo com uma taxa muito alta de analfabetismo. Falando concretamente da província onde eu trabalho, a nossa taxa de analfabetismo na idade de 15 anos para mais é de 62,3%. E a primeira atividade que nós tínhamos que desenvolver foi de criar espaços para que jovens e adultos possam encontrar mecanismos de aprender e de modo a desenvolver atividades próprias para o seu desenvolvimento próprio. E recentemente nós criamos o Instituto de Formação de Educadores e Adultos, foi exatamente em 2010 e daí começamos a formar educadores de adultos que trabalham não só na província de Nampula, mas também para as províncias vizinhas, como a da Zambésia, Niassa, Cabo Delgado. E para além dessas atividades como a alfabetização, nós entramos na comunidade e lá na comunidade capacitamos as pessoas para o desenvolvimento comunitário, dando competências para poderem descobrir o que existe na própria comunidade. No caso de zonas onde há produção agrícola, nós ajudamos as pessoas a desenvolver programas de agricultura melhoradas. As zonas onde o artesanato é frequente, como as zonas do litoral, as zonas turísticas, então nós ajudamos a melhorar a produção turística, a produção de material turístico e também damos competências muito fortes em jovens para poderem aprender a desenvolver um negócio e algo também nos interessou nos últimos tempos que é a questão de gênero, porque a questão de desigualdade de gênero em Moçambique é algo muito maior, mas nós tínhamos que fazer algo para que isso pode mudar na comunidade e desenvolvemos um projeto de alfabetização das mulheres e o projeto de alfabetização das mulheres não porque reduziu a participação do homem, mas criou espaço para que a mulher se torne auto-informada, se torne autocapacitada e possa intervir naquilo que são as necessidades de desenvolvimento da família. Esta alfabetização das mulheres ofereceu também oportunidades para a formação das crianças.
Okay, I'm Makiko Kondo and I'm from Japan, and my organization is Development Education Association, which is an educational CV, a CS, and we do sometimes training teachers and making the teaching materials. I was so excited because I could see many colleagues, yellow friends, badge. And I also could see the aspect, which is Asia Pacific Network friend, and I could see them as well. So I could hear the many voices through the colleagues, and we are in the so diversity situation. So I could hear their voice. It was fantastic. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell my experience to colleagues in Japan because they never experienced like this assembly or something like that. But I have to tell them how so many people struggle with the difficulty of implementing the adult education and the poverty and many global issues. So it's my duty. I have to tell them about this.
J'ai besoin de la lune pour lui parler la nuit. J'ai besoin du soleil pour me chauffer